So I says, yo, haha, it's all in the words.
What up, 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 what up? Hey man, check it. Um, this your boy Padre, alright? And I have had a few channels on YouTube. YouTube has gotten rid of quite a few channels. Basically 3 of them. Alright? Now, for one, I want to say excuse me for that rattling sound you hear in the background. You know, that's my laptop. You know, I've had it for about 2.5 years, and I think I got a fan that need to be replaced or some shit. I don't know. I don't get hands on with shit like that. I gotta save up to get some better shit to upgrade it anyway. I mean to update to get something updated, and also have the TV going on in the background. So please excuse me on that shit there. All right, but what I want to get into with this video is that I was born in the 70s, mid 70s, and when I was growing up, it was a very popular thing to have a male figure in a child's life. You know, they used to say that, especially for a man, for a young man, for a boy, they used to be like, you know, a woman can't teach her son the things that a man could teach that boy, that child, that male child. And there's a lot of truth to that. You know, the crack epidemic broke families apart in my culture, here in the United States. And grandparents became null and void. They just, it's one of those things where grandparents weren't grandparents like they used to be. You know, you used to could get an ass whooping from your grandparents and from your parents over, you know what I'm saying, something that you truly, you know, did bad as a child. But that ain't like that no more. The family support system has been fucked up. Now, when it comes down to male figures, um, even though there was different men in and out of my life due to my mama fucking around with a bunch of different men and shit, you know, only one of them stood out until he got on dope. He was a pro us type of man until he got on that dope. And when he got on that dope, I lost all respect for him. But when I was younger with him in my life, you know, he would drop gems on me, you know, about how important it is to be careful in life, uh, when it comes down to the other race that's in this country. We're talking about, you know, the European race. And hold on. Thank you. And so, since I didn't have, somebody in my ear, you know, guiding me and giving me the support that I needed, you know what I'm saying? My life turned out to be the way it is now. And I do believe that if I had had that voice in my ear, that discipline, that 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 somebody that I could see talk the talk and walk the walk, then I would have turned out to be a whole different type of person. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. I just know that, I'm in my 40s and I'm just now getting the balance that I should have been brought up with. And so here it is. Within the last few months, I have run across 3 people on YouTube that, are the same color as I am, same race that I am. And they've been dropping gems on me. Now, I got a biological brother that, I'm glad that he's in my life because, he loves the news, all right? And the shit that he has always been talking about is just now coming out. So my brother is wise in a lot of ways, and he's been talking truth. He's been speaking his truth for some years, and the things that he's been talking about is just now coming into light publicly. All right, so that's one person that I've had in my life, you know what I'm saying? Besides old boy from when I was a child. But other than that, I would say a couple of months ago, I ran across this interview with Phil Donahue and Louis Farrakhan. And it was like a 1985 interview. And I was like, oh wow, man. He's saying some shit that I've been talking about for a long time. Now, with my other channels, I had this other channel, and I used to put videos like this out real often because I would see something that will stimulate my thought on it. But I've always thought that people of my race, color, culture should be doing for ourselves damn near like if we were living off the grid. You know what I'm saying? Why depend on the government to do shit that we can do? The reason why I think that is because we have basically built this country, but the laws were not made for us. They made laws to keep us as a minority. All right. So Louis, okay, and to go further with that, here's the complete plan idea that I was like, man, if I had the money, I'd get a lot of land. I'd put housing on that land. I'd put a school on that land, and I'd put warehouse, factory on that land. Now, for the people that was going to live in the housing, would be the people that would go to that school to learn everything they needed to know to manufacture something inside of that factory, and would sell whatever that product is. You know what I'm saying? To other, to better our society, to better the country, to better other cultures or communities like ours. Let's say windmills, water stills, solar panels, things like that. All right. And when I think of back, you remember that movie 300 with the Spartans, how they weeded out the weak and kept the strong, you know, to have a strong community. And so I was like, man, okay, within a community that I'm thinking about, you know, if one person gets pregnant, everybody knows that that person gets pregnant, right? And we all do what we need to do to pitch in to help that person, right? Now, within this community, I mean, within life period, you got people who are naturally gifted for certain skills. You got people who are gifted with medical and nursing know-how, mechanical know-how, food industry type of know-how, you know, all the things that you need as a person, you know what I'm saying? You got people with farming know-how, hunting know-how, you know what I'm saying? When you bring all these elements into one community, you can ball your fist up with that and call that fist your community. Even if you need to go outside of that community to get more education, you bring those skills back to the community. You know what I mean? It's like so many people who come from different countries to get educated here, then they take that education back home and do something with it for their people. Alright, so anyway, I used to always be like, man, a community like that, you know what I'm saying? Of course you would need your rules and your laws that we all could get along and vote on and respect. And when it comes down to our kids, much like the Spartans, or the story of the Spartans, you know, based off that movie, if you got some weird fucked up ass kids that's going to put a monkey wrench in the system, get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Adopt them. Adopt them off somewhere. Let somebody else deal with that shit. So that way we don't have distractions. You know what I'm saying? You could always have more kids. I remember my brother had came to me with this question that he had pondered on for years. It's like, okay, if you, your wife, and maybe one or two of your children were stuck up in a tree because there was like a lion down below, who would be sacrificed in order for everybody else to get out that tree and leave? You know what I'm saying? And I know, well, he had told me that a lot of people had been, you know, asked that question, and there's been a lot of different answers. But it's like, you know, for me, it'd be like, you know, hey, you sacrifice that kid, you can always have always have another kid. You know what I mean? Sorry for the kid, but shit, they really ain't missing out on nothing because they ain't had a chance to really live life in the first place. So they're not missing out on something that they don't know about. That's like taking an orange to somebody who's colorblind and say, hey, you know, what color is this? Does this look, you know, does it look right? And they're like, I don't even know what the color is. You know what I'm saying? How can he miss out on other beauties of color if they're colorblind? You know what I mean? So anyway, when I watched that video with Farrakhan talking to Phil Donahue, he was on that same, you know, Farrakhan was on that same shit as far as we as a culture should come together like a fist and do for ourselves, with ourselves. and everybody, was calling him anti this and anti that. So it's like, they don't get it. They really don't get it. They're stuck on a bunch of other words, but they don't get it. I remember Killer Mike. He's a rapper, activist, amongst other things. He had once said that his grandparents wished that we weren't segregated, integrated, that they wish that segregation had not ended. In the way that when we were segregated, we had no choice but to live amongst ourselves, and whatever dollar we made, we spent within our own community. Okay, you have places like Tulsa. Back in the day, it got burnt down because Europeans, got jealous, basically. No matter what excuses they say or reasons that they say, they burnt that place down. It's just, they were jealous. And you have places like Rosewood and all the other cities and towns that have not been mentioned throughout history that was all one race, which is my culture, my race. And we were doing good for ourselves, doing way better than Europeans were. And so, when I heard Farrakhan say, talk about it, and I was like, yo, this was in 1985. At that time, I was only 10, and I hadn't been thinking about it. I wasn't thinking about it then. I was still a child. But I was like, 85. Man, that's 30-something years ago. You know what I'm saying? And this man was talking about that then. I have been talking about it for like the past 10 or so years. You know what I'm saying? Unity. And then I began to notice Ali Sadiq. He's a comedian, amongst other things. He had done some time in prison. And whatever, he had done in his history, he is the man that he is now. And I would suggest that you check out his interviews. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the type of thought that he has about life and our culture and our people. Alright? Dave Chappelle, he is another person that I had noticed was on some good conscious shit. You know what I'm saying? I stopped laughing at Dave Chappelle's jokes because I was like, man, I am learning more from him as man to man. You know what I'm saying? One man with a past that converts his past into something humorous. You know what I'm saying? His storytelling. You know what I mean? It takes me back to when they used to talk about how we used to sit back with our grandparents and they would tell us folk stories. You know what I'm saying? Stories about our people. You know what I mean? When there was no TV and things like that, our entertainment came from stories of our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? The bravery, the stupidity, the mistakes, the grandeur, you know what I'm saying? The things that they did good to help us strive. You know what I'm saying? We learned vicariously through these stories. And it was to teach us to be a better people. Alright? That was our Bible. That was our religion. That's what we would worship. You know what I'm saying? That's where our spirituality would come from. It wouldn't be from no fucking Bible that has been rewritten over and over again to benefit a certain people, European people. And then I ran across Riza Islam. And I was like, yo, he's on that same shit that of course, he comes from, a Muslim background. But if you watch interviews and he tells his history, you'll see that he's more than just a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? He's been educated in so many other theologies, religions, whatever. But as of right now, he is a well-rounded man with a frame of mind and thoughts that can help benefit us. I hate watching the news because out of anybody that's my color, they have an opportunity to spread the right message, but they don't want to fuck up their income, so they stick to the program. You know what I'm saying? And the program is not to benefit our people. So I don't like to watch her news. Fucks me up, it pisses me off. I know that even though I don't watch the news, there's still some fucked up shit going on. So no, I don't need them to remind me that there's fuckery going on. Alright, so I'm not trying to make this video long. It's just the point that when a person says that nobody told them right from wrong, nobody was there in their lives to help them become a better person or whatever, it's like, yo, how much time and energy did you put into trying to find somebody that you needed in your life in a very productive way? I'm not talking about love and, relationships. I'm talking about growth. You know what I mean? I can't stand people in their 20s and their teens trying to get into relationships because they don't know what the fuck life is about. They don't even know who they are individually. It takes years to grow into the person that you're going to be. And so I sit back and I'm like, man, I make these videos so that at least one person can see that there's somebody else that's thinking about the same shit that they're thinking about. I have a disclaimer that says, I'm not the dumbest person in the world, but I'm not the smartest person in the world. I've done my research on some things, but there's a whole lot of shit out there that I could still be doing my research on, that I need to research. My thing is, when a person listens to me, I want them to question everything that I'm talking about. I need them to research everything that I'm talking about. And then I need them to form their own opinions about the shit that I'm talking about. But the most important thing is that they share their opinions and thoughts with other people. Because you never know when there's somebody out there thinking the same thing that you're thinking, but they don't have anyone to talk to. And I know what it feels like to feel like I'm the only one thinking something when I'm around a crowd of people and they're looking at me like I'm the weirdo. So it's like when I finally get to hear someone talk about the same shit that I've been talking about, I get excited. You know what I'm saying? So this is me sharing my excitement over growth, over thoughts and perspectives for my race and my culture. When we think about there should be answers to the problems, that we're having here in this country, I'm like, man, there are answers. It's just we don't have enough people getting together and agreeing on shit that's going to help us grow as a people and to separate ourselves from the bullshit. Now, I'm going to end this video with this. Why elect a politician or somebody in government if you would not want to have them in your home? If you don't trust that person as you should trust somebody, then why even vote for them? And then on top of that, why fuck with somebody in that area, in that field, if you know what I'm saying, if they're not worth it? It's one of those things where, why waste your energy on a people, on a certain topic, when it's not going to help you in any type of way? Why waste your energy on a person, on an individual, if it's not going to help you or that person? And I say that to say this is because, you know, Donald Trump is like a cult leader. He says something, and there's a group of people who are just following every word that he says and with them to do anything that he asks them or tells them to do. To me, that's some cult shit. Alright? That's a cultural leader. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, out of everybody that disagrees with him, it's like, why give him the time and the space? Why even waste your energy on him? Just do what you need to do to where you don't need to have him in your life at all. No matter what he does to anybody else, it won't affect you. It shouldn't affect you. If you got yourself and your people in a secured position, you should be straight. So within this culture, of course you need security. You know what I'm saying? But I remember all these other, what do you call them, cults. Even though they had security, you had the government come in with their guns and bullets, you know what I'm saying, and do all these raids to break down that cult. And then they come in with excuses and lies for why they didn't want that cult to succeed. And all the reason why I'm saying cult is because when I think about a community of people who are my same color, and the people who really fuck with us, because remember, there were abolitionists that were not from my race, but they fucked with us enough to help us get the freedom. You know what I'm saying? So there, you may not have people of the same race, but if you're trying to succeed in doing something that we, you know what I'm saying, that you all agree with, and that's your culture, you know what I'm saying, then you're together. That's like a family unit. You know, sometimes some brown folks can't get along with other brown folks, and that's a shame. But look at the Europeans. They've been killing themselves off for centuries. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, you're not going to get along with everybody that's the same color of you that you are. But you will find a whole lot of like-minded people when you open your mind and open your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Spend your time and your energy around people who think about the same shit that you think about, who feel passionate and want the same type of growth that you want. So anyway, once again, I'm making a video that's on this topic, dealing with growth as a culture, as a community. And I hope that the message can spread in a very positive way. I hope that it could help form, some answers to how we as a people, as a culture, as a minority can get along better and get into a place of life that we don't need to live off of the government. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, my name is Podrey. If you're watching this video, thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. Leave me a comment down below, whether you agree or disagree or whatever. You know what I mean? Peace.